Hello, welcome you all. Today we are here for discussion related to the topic metabolism. Metabolism. What is this metabolism? This metabolism is defined as the total sum of all the reactions taking place inside the cell. Total sum of all the reactions taking place inside the cell is simply termed as metabolism. All the reactions which are taking place inside the living being, they are not the metabolism. Some of the chemical reactions are there which are taking place inside the living system, but they are not considered as metabolism. Only those reactions which are taking place inside the cell, they are called as metabolism. For example, all the digestive reactions, they are not considered as metabolic reactions. Why digestive reactions are not considered as metabolic reactions? The reason is that whatever digestive reactions are taking place, they are taking place inside the GI tract. GI tract means gastrointestinal tract. This gastrointestinal tract, it provides a lumen-like cavity where these digestive reactions are taking place, and since these digestive reactions are not taking place inside a cell, this is the reason why digestive reactions are not considered as metabolic reactions. So for a chemical reaction to be the metabolic reaction, it is mandatory that it should be taking place inside the cell. Until and unless a particular chemical reaction is not taking place inside the cell, that particular chemical reaction will not be considered as metabolic reaction. So with this fact, I would like to discuss one more fact, that what is excretion. Although it is little apart from our topic of the discussion, but even then I would like to discuss that what actually is excretion. Excretion can be defined as the metabolic waste products generated inside an individual. And metabolism, they are the total chemical reactions taking place inside the cell. Hence, excretion is the outcome of metabolic reactions, the products which are generated by the metabolic reactions, and they are not useful for our body, and hence they are expected to be removed from our system. They are called as excretory products. For example, that fecal defecation in which undigested food is removed from our body. Here, it ensures the removal of waste product from our body, but this fecal defecation is not considered as excretion process. The reason is that whatever fecal defecation takes place, it is the outcome of digestive reactions, and the digestive reactions, they are not considered as metabolic reactions. Hence, the waste product generated because of the digestive reactions is not considered as excretory product, and the process will not be considered as excretion process. And this is the reason why fecal defecation, although it ensures the removal of waste product, but is not considered as the process of excretion. So we have generated this concept that whatever chemical reactions are taking place inside the cell, only those chemical reactions will be considered as metabolic reactions. So many reactions are taking place inside a cell. So many different type of reactions at a particular time are taking place, and they generate a network of so many different type of reactions. and all these reactions continuously they keep on taking place. Some of the reactions are there which always keep on taking place. Every time chemical reactions are running, a particular reactant is going to be converted into a product, and further generated product becomes the substrate for next reaction, and cascading process keeps on going on, resulting into generation of so many different types of compounds. And these generated compounds or intermediate compounds or the starting compounds, they generate a group of molecules simply termed as metabolites. So inside an individual at a time, so many types of metabolites are formed. Although whatever reactions are taking place inside a living system, they may take place outside from the living system. But the chemical reactions or the metabolic reactions which are taking place inside the living system, they are performed very fast. The rate of reactions taking place inside the living system is several times faster than that of the chemical reactions taking place outside from the living system. And this magical word, this magical performance is being governed by the magician molecules called as enzymes. For example, that inside a living system, when a particular amount of sugar molecule enters, the most abundantly used molecule for production of energy inside our system is glucose. G-glucose, dextrorotatory glucose, is responsible for providing maximum amount of energy to be utilized by the living system. Suppose we have some bulk of sugar kept inside a container inside our kitchen, and it is exposed to the atmospheric air. Atmospheric air will be there. Oxidation of the sugar will be taking place inside the container where sugar have been kept. And we know it well that when this sugar enters inside the living system, after entering that sugar inside the living system, sugar gets oxidized by the atmospheric oxygen. The atmospheric oxygen which enters inside our living system, that oxygen is responsible for oxidation of the sugar molecules available inside the living system. And this oxygen inside the living system oxidizes the carbohydrate molecule, the sugar molecule, and a huge amount of energy is generated. And this generated energy is responsible for functioning of the individual. A little amount of sugar molecule taken by an individual provides such amount of energy that a normal individual, normal human being, generally weighing at an average of 80 kg body weight, that body weight can move, that can run, that can jump. We can perform so many functions. But if we take that same amount of sugar which an individual has taken and started feeling the energetic one, because that person can jump, and if same amount of sugar will be kept inside the container, it will be provided the same amount of oxygen for its oxidation, but the sugar kept inside the container will not be able to provide energy to that container even to perform a little movement. The reason is that whatever sugar molecules have been kept inside the container that do not have energy. So all these differences are because of the presence of the magical molecule enzymes. Enzymes, they have capability to increase the rate of reaction by so many folds, and this is the reason due to presence of enzyme molecules, we are getting this much huge amount of energy within least possible duration. So enzyme molecules are the magical molecule which ensure the proper running and proper combination as well as proper maintenance of all the metabolic reactions without of which a living being feels to be the living one. And if they will not be working properly, living condition of the individual will not be taking place properly. So it is mandatory that all the enzymes responsible for proper running of these metabolic reactions should be working efficiently. Nature has created such enzymes. Nature has created these enzymes in order to have all the metabolic reactions running in their proper way. And the condition in which these metabolic reactions are not running properly, which is very rare inside the nature. Only few conditions or only few individuals have been reported in nature, those who show the metabolic disorder. It is very rare disorder. So those disorders or disease which are very rare, which are very rarely reported, they are called as orphan disease. And the drug molecules or therapeutic molecules used for treatment of such orphan disease are called as orphan drugs. So orphan drugs are the drug molecules which are used for treatment of orphan disease. So now coming back to our topic, that is metabolism. Till now we have discussed that all the chemical reactions taking place inside the cell are called as metabolism. If we look at for the types of metabolic reactions, so many reactions are taking place inside the cell, and we can classify these metabolic reactions into three different categories. Number one, it is anabolism. Second type is catabolism. And third type is amphibolism. Anabolism, total sum of all the synthetic chemical reactions is simply termed as anabolism. All the synthetic metabolic reactions, they are commonly termed as anabolic reactions, and the process is called as anabolism. Likewise, catabolism, total sum of all the degradative reactions is called as catabolism. And now amphibolism. Amphibolism is a type of metabolism which includes both anabolism and catabolism. If a chemical reaction is there which has both synthetic and degradative steps, that metabolic reaction will be called as amphibolism. Simply, this amphibolism is the combination of both anabolism as well as catabolism. So these chemical reactions, they continuously keep on taking place inside the system, resulting into performance of all the required functions to be performed by our body. Okay. So now we can discuss about the carbohydrate molecules, which are one of the most prominent metabolic molecules found inside the living system. Carbohydrates. What are carbohydrates? Carbohydrates, they are polyhydroxy aldehydes or ketones, are those compounds which on hydrolysis can generate polyhydroxy aldehydes or ketones. These carbohydrates, they are the compounds most abundantly found in nature. These carbohydrates are named because of their feature that most of the carbohydrate molecules, they have their formula in such a way so that they follow this general principle CnH2nOn, and by this way we can write this general formula of the carbohydrate molecules in this form CnH2O whole n. So generally these carbohydrate molecules, they appear to be the hydrates of carbon. These molecules, they appear to be the hydrates of carbon, and this is the reason why they are simply called as carbohydrates. So because of their chemical structure, chemical elemental arrangement in such a way so that they appear to be the hydrates of carbon, they have been named as carbohydrates. But all the carbohydrates, they don't appear to be the hydrates of carbon. Most of the carbohydrates are there which follow this rule and they appear to be the hydrates of carbon, hence they are named carbohydrates, but this principle is not applicable for all the carbohydrate molecules. The most prominent carbohydrate molecule which is utilized inside the living system for metabolic reactions is glucose. Glucose, it's a sugar molecule having 6 carbon atoms. A sugar molecule with 6 carbon atoms, and this glucose, it's aldehydic sugar molecule, and all the 6 carbon atoms, they are responsible for making this molecular structure. Its first carbon atom, it is an aldehydic group, it has aldehyde group, and we know it well that as per IUPAC, functional group is preferred for numbering the carbon atoms present inside the molecule. So this carbon atom is numbered as carbon atom number 1. This is carbon atom number 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So these 6 carbon atom molecules are responsible for making the glucose molecule. First carbon atom, it belongs to aldehydic group and hence numbering starts from this carbon atom. Last carbon atom, it is CH2OH having hydroxyl group, and in between first and 6th carbon atom, all the 4 carbon atoms, they have hydroxyl group. One side it has hydroxyl group and another side it has hydrogen group. So this HOH so by this way we can draw the structure of a glucose molecule. This The structure belongs to glucose. Here we can see that first carbon atom belongs to aldehyde group, last carbon atom is 2H hydroxyl group, and it is in between all the four carbon atoms they have alternate hydrogen and hydroxyl group. A sugar molecule which shows the difference in their chemical structure due to change in orientation at any carbon atom other than carbon atom number 1 is called as epimer. So this molecule is glucose, and if the change in orientation at any carbon atom other than carbon atom number 1 takes place, this molecule gets changed into another type of molecule, and that newly generated molecule will be called as epimer of this molecule. For example, this is the structure of glucose molecule, and if we change the position of H and OH at the location number 4, the same glucose molecule gets converted into its epimeric molecule, and that epimeric molecule is simply called as galactose. Provided that at position number 4, the location of H and OH gets changed. Change in orientation at carbon atom number 4 has changed the glucose molecule into its epimeric form, that is called as galactose. And if change in molecular structure of a sugar molecule takes place due to change in orientation at carbon atom number 1, then the newly generated molecule is called as enomer of this sugar molecule. So alpha and beta form of glucose molecules are an example of anomeric carbohydrate molecule. One more fact related to this carbohydrate might be discussed here, that whatever carbohydrate molecules are there which has carbon atom number more than 4, they have tendency to form a cyclic ring structure. They have tendency to generate a ring structure. Let's see that how this ring structure is generated inside the glucose molecule. This is glucose molecule, and this is the straight chain form of the glucose molecule. For generation of the cyclic structure, it shows some difference inside its structure. A ring formation takes place due to association of carbon atom number 1 and carbon atom number 5 of the glucose molecule. A ring-like structure is generated due to association of the carbon atom number 1 and carbon atom number 5, like this. So we get this cyclic form of the glucose molecule, and thus we get a ring-like structure, and this ring-like structure, it is called as lactose ring. And as per the rules of the organic chemistry, we know it well that any molecule which have additional cyclic structure or ring-like structure, it gets its more stable structure. So the stability of this electron ring having molecule will be more than that of the straight chain structure of the glucose molecule. So whenever this electron ring containing glucose molecule is expected to take part inside the metabolic reaction, this electron ring is targeted. This electron ring is expected to be broken for its efficient participation inside the metabolic reaction. In our coming classes, we will keep on discussing that how this electron ring is broken during metabolic reactions and how this glucose molecule takes part for metabolic reactions.